Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing, man? Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Matt Antonelli here. Today we're talking about uh, when I caught the swine flu in AAA. Now, I've had a lot of injuries during my career. I've missed a lot of games. I think I've missed like over 400 games during my career, which is a crazy, crazy number. I had 3 wrist surgeries. I broke my hand. I had knee issues. I've had basically all kinds of issues and missed a ton. But the worst issue of all time was when I got the swine flu. And I don't know if anyone out there has ever had the swine flu. If you have, put it in the comment section below. It is the worst thing maybe ever. All right, so I'm going to give you a little bit of background. I missed 20 something games because of it, which is amazing to think of from just a little sickness. But it lasts a long, long time. So actually, a lot of our team ended up getting pretty sick with it. Let me give you kind of the details and the background story. So, I was playing AAA ball. We were in Reno, Nevada. Okay, this is back in 2009, I believe. I'm heading to the stadium, so it's really hot in Reno, and we had to walk to the stadium. All right, so the hotel wasn't too far. I'd say it was probably about a 5-minute walk. So most guys just walked over to the field, and so I'm walking one day. And I get outside and it's hot, and I'm like, as I start walking, all of a sudden, like, it hits me like pretty quickly. I'm walking and I'm like, man, I don't feel too good right now. Like, maybe it's just the heat. So I keep walking, and I'm finally about to get to the stadium, and I go downstairs to the clubhouse. And at this point, now I'm like really starting to not feel good. I'm like, oh, something's wrong. I'm telling you, it like within 5 minutes, I went from feeling decent to like feeling really not good. So I went over to our trainer, Wade Yamasaki, and I was like, Wade, I was like, I don't feel good, man. And he's like, you got to be kidding me. He's like, we've already had a couple guys that came in and said they don't feel good. So he takes my temperature, and I've got like a super high temperature. I'm like 100 and I was in the hundreds somewhere. And he was like, you're done. He's like, I don't know what the hell's going on here. So within the next, 20 minutes, we've got like 8 guys probably, somewhere right around 8 to 10 guys probably, that are all saying that we feel horrible. So clearly something bad is happening to everyone. So I start to feel like deathly ill. Like, it goes from, again, feeling okay to deathly ill very quickly. So they get us all in the van, they bring us over to like an urgent care place. And they take all our temperatures, they do all this stuff, they do all these tests and everything. And now I have like 100, I think I had 104 or 105 degree temperature. I had some crazy temperature. And they find out that I have the swine flu along with some of my other teammates. And this is during the time when it was like people were like wearing masks and stuff. Like, people were really, really scared of this swine flu thing. It was on TV all the time. And so, now I'm thinking I'm going to die. And so they're like, okay, we got to bring you guys back to the hotel. But before we do, we're going to go to CVS, I think it was, and we're going to grab a bunch of, grab whatever you need, Pedialytes, and just grab a bunch of stuff that you'll need because you're going to be basically in the hotel for a bit. And so we get out, and I literally at this point, I can't get out of the van. I honestly feel like I can't go, but I'm like, I have to go grab some, like, I needed a drink so bad. So I get out, and I'm walking into CVS, and I tell some of the other guys, I say, listen, I have to go to the bathroom real quick. I say, if I don't come out of there, please come and get me. And so I honestly, this might sound bad, I don't really remember. All I remember is that is they come and get me and find me in the bathroom, and I have, I'm like down to like no clothes. I don't know what happened to me in there. I do remember, like, I do kind of remember getting in there, and I had to throw up, and I felt like I was on fire. Like, I felt like I was like 500 degrees, and I apparently I just took my shirt off, and I don't know, my pants ended up off too, and I'm laying on the ground in the CVS or Walgreens, one or the other. It's been a while since this happened. I'm laying in the bathroom stall, threw up in the bathroom, and they come and find me. Basically helped me put my clothes back on, dragged me out of there. God knows what kind of diseases I caught in that place. So we go back to the hotel now, and they end up quarantining us. They put us in the hotel, and they don't let us out. They don't let us out of the room, not out of the hotel. They don't let us out of the room for I think it was 7 or 8 days or 9 days or something like that. So it was me and Brett Dowdy, my roommate, and we both had it, and we could not leave. And so the hotel actually didn't let anyone else on that floor. It was just the guys that were sick. They cleared the whole floor. None of us could leave the room. And so basically, when we wanted food, they delivered us food 3 times a day. For me, actually 4 times a day because I would order ice cream sundaes a lot. The Padres, they were nice enough to tell us that we could order food on them, and they would pay for everything. Movies included, so we didn't take too much advantage of that, but we had rented a couple movies. And so I would wake up every morning. First of all, they gave us this medicine that really, really was helpful because I slept for like 15 hours a day, maybe more than that. There'd be some days where it'd be like, getting late, 8, 9 o'clock at night. That's not late, but when you're feeling sick, that's late. I would take this medicine, and I'd pass out, and I'd wake up the next day, and I wouldn't know like where we were or what was going on. I'd look at my clock, and it would be like in the afternoon of the next day, and I'd be like, what the hell happened? I felt like it was CVS bathroom all over again. It was unbelievable. But my body was just so wiped out that I guess I needed that sleep. And so slept a lot during this time. But then I'd pick up the phone, I would just call and just be like, yeah, can I have like 7 Belgian waffles and, whipped cream and then some French toast, bacon, sausage. And I'd get these huge breakfasts, and they would come to the door with the food. And they would leave it on the ground, they'd knock, and they'd run away. They thought, like, literally, I'm telling you, like, they really thought that this was like I'm sure there were some people that died with it. I mean, I was in the best shape of my life, and I could not, I was useless. Like, it was horrible. And I've had pneumonia, and I've had a bunch of other things, and nothing will ever compare to how bad I felt with this. So they'd run away, and then we'd get our food, and we do that all day. We get lunch, and then we get dinner, and then we get ice cream. And then we get some more ice cream. And so Brett and I became really good friends because we just sat there and talked to each other the whole time. And again, this is in 2009 before, nowadays, like with cell phones and social media and all that stuff, I mean, most people probably voluntarily lock themselves in their room and just stare at their phones all day. But back then, there wasn't as much stuff to do. And so we just kind of talked a lot. We watched a lot of movies. And that was really it. We just sat there. Now, the team ended up having to leave without us because they had to go continue to play. We ended up having to get like reinforcements from AA and some single A guys because there were so many of us that were not feeling well, and we just couldn't go with the team. And so they went off and kept playing, and we stayed there for like the 8 days or so. And then they flew us back to the team, but I could not play. We didn't play for 20-something days. I think it was almost like 30 days. And the reason was, after a while, you start to, I would say after like a week or two, your body starts to feel better as far as you don't feel sick, you don't feel like you have a fever or anything anymore. But it was really tough to breathe. That was the biggest thing, is that even when you weren't running or anything, it would take like some work to breathe. And so you had to be really careful because when you would run, like we had to work our way back into things. So we would take like, some ground ball. Well, first we start with like just kind of like running, I guess, just jogging, getting our body moving again. Then you start with some ground balls, you work your way to hitting. But like you jog, I'd go out there and jog, and like I'd finish I'm talking like a little jog, and I'd be like, it's like hard to breathe. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And it felt like you were playing in Colorado, only much worse. I don't know if anyone's ever played in Colorado before or tried to run around. Like when you go to Colorado and you're up in the high elevation, the first few times you run, you get this burning feeling in your chest. It like really burns bad, and it's a little bit hard to breathe. This is like 10 times worse. It was really, really difficult to breathe. And so like I probably could have, physically I felt okay to play, but I don't think I would have been able to make it through a game. Even in baseball, where there's really no running. Like you don't even have to be in good shape to play baseball. But it was really difficult to breathe. And so like we had to really take our time. And then finally we started to play. I think Brett played like a day or so before me. And then they put me back into the lineup. And then I was fine to go, and then I was good to go, and then I played. But man, that was the scariest, worst feelings I've ever had literally end my life. And luckily, never got it again. I don't know if you can get it again. I guess you could get it again. You don't hear about it anymore, but back then, I mean, it was, a lot of people were getting it. One time, people were literally, like, around the world were, like, wearing masks because they were afraid of getting the swine flu. And I don't blame them. I wish I wore a mask before I got it, but unfortunately I didn't. So that's the story of my bad luck minor league career. Not only would I get injured with every injury in the world, but I also would get the swine flu. So, you know, when I was feeling healthy and great and all that stuff, found another way to get me out of the lineup. So, anyways, let me know again if you ever had the swine flu before, and let me know if you had the same symptoms as me, or if there was anything different. So that's all we got. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you later.